I want to once again wish every one of you guys a happy new year, good health and good wealth for each and every one of you guys in 2024. And thank you so much for supporting my channel. So in this video, I'll be offering my personal outlook for Nio stock in 2024 going forward. And it's only going to be my personal opinion, not financial advice, and how I see things playing out, all right, in terms of deliveries and all that kind of stuff, and also what the CEO said. So very interestingly, Xpeng CEO and Nio CEO actually said the same thing, and that is the fact that the next 2 years will be the elimination phase of the new energy vehicle race, aka the next 2 years will be the toughest years in terms of competition. All right, we got so many new players entering the market, and the Chinese word is juan, which means to have better specs at a lower price than your competitors. It's like you launch a car this week, and the next week there's another car who was cheaper than your car but has better specs. Then customers are like, what the hell, why am I still buying this car? Let's buy the other car. And then they pre-order the next car, and then another car comes along, even cheaper price, even better specs or better features. And this is what the market has been like here in China. It's absolutely insane. And there's so many new players entering the market. So competition is very, very fierce. When I made this video back in 2022, I talked about how in 2023, there's going to be a very big price war and real estate market is going to collapse here in China. And that's pretty much the case. Yeah. So in 2024, even though we're going to have very tough competition, here is my outlook for Nio and Nio stock. I think that we're going to see very big success in the second half of 2024. All right. Very good success in the second half of 2024, similar to 2023, where there's good deliveries in the second half of this year. The reasoning is twofold. All right. First of all, next year, my expectations for deliveries in Q1 and Q2, not that high, to be honest. To be completely honest with you guys, because first of all, the removal of license plate, basically making license plates harder to get in Shanghai, 3 times harder to get, that's really going to hurt deliveries for EVs in general in Shanghai. But also the fact that NIO's not really refreshing the vehicle models in Q1 or Q2. So I've heard for the 8295 chip and small refresh. There's going to be a big refresh for the ES7 and the ET7. That's what I heard. But there's also going to be a general chip refresh for all vehicle models coming in the second half of next year. And I was also told by the product manager of EC7 that if I wanted to buy EC7, then perhaps, maybe, buy it in Q3 of 2024. That's when the chip refresh is coming out. So, I know guaranteed for sure the EC7 is getting a chip refresh by then. Perhaps, and I talked to the Nio owner of 23 Nios, if Nio's going to do a refresh for the chip, they got to do it across all vehicle models, and that's not just 1 or 2. All right, so it's going to come all vehicle models by around Q3 of next year. Of course, I told the product manager I'm waiting for the NT 3.0 EC7 with horizontal screens. My EC6 still works fantastically well. So a lot of people will be waiting for the 8295 chip. The 8295 chip is already on certain vehicle models right now. Like today, I went to celebrate New Year's with my wife and my kid, but we saw a Robo 01 from Jidu, and that car has 8295 chip. I saw it in the flesh right out there in the parking lot. It just means the 8295 is already here. A lot of customers will be waiting for that update to happen. Of course, NIO is going to offer an upgrade package for all NT 2.0 vehicle owners. So definitely that's going to really help sales and make the car up to date. All right, and sales will increase quite nicely in Q3 and Q4. Now, another reason is the fact that actually 2 more reasons. All right, June we're going to have the UAE launch for NIO. So they're going to be selling cars over there. That's obviously going to have a little bit boost for deliveries. Not massive at the start, so we'll ignore that, but keep that in mind, all right? The more important thing is the fact that the sub-brand is coming out. And obviously, the sub-brand is going to flip the table, according to Nio CEO, right? They're going to observe the market, and the car is already ready, but they're not letting people know the specs and everything. They're not pricing the car right now. They're waiting for until everybody's backstab each other in terms of specs, and then Nio comes out with the price that will flip the table, according to the CEO. So that really got me excited, because man, you're going to go in there and flip the table, and that probably means that it's going to be just so impactful that the sales will be fantastic. That combined, all these factors combined, gives me full confidence that the second half of next year is going to be very, very good. Now, some information about the sub-brand. It is only going to be sharing battery swap infrastructure, Gen 3 and Gen 4, and service centers. That's the only thing that they'll be sharing in terms of infrastructure-wise. For stores, they'll have their own stores. Now, some of you guys said that this is bad in terms of cash burn, but it is what it is. Rejoice on the fact that they're not having a separate team to develop the sub-brand. Basically, they have the same R&D team building the car, coming up with the car. So there's a portion of that expense reduced. Another very interesting question that I've seen, and this was on our podcast channel, somebody asked us and said that Nio's sub-brand will fail because of the fact that Nio cannot build a better car than the ET5 and have it at a cheaper price, whereas you already have cars like the Zurcher 007 that are much better in terms of specs, but cheaper than Nio's ET5. And for that, I disagree. And it's more about branding, all right? So an easy way to think about this is Xiaomi and Apple, all right? Imagine if those were the same company, but sub-brands of Xiaomi was a sub-brand of Apple. So Xiaomi's phone always uses better materials than the iPhone, but it's always going to be cheaper. And the same logic can be said for Nio and Nio sub-brand. Nio sub-brand will have very good materials, very good specs, everything good, but the branding, right, the brand itself is lower than Nio. Nio is more opulent, luxurious, just the name carries weight, all right? Sort of like how BMW, the name itself carries weight. Mercedes, the name itself carries weight. You can definitely buy a BMW 1 Series alternative that has much better specs and much better everything, but it's not a BMW, right? The sub-brand will not be a Nio. Same logic there. So in terms of that aspect, the sub-brand will actually be quite successful because they're going all out, all right? They're going all out. They're not holding back. The specs might even be better than Nio's main brand. In terms of the brand itself, lower in class than the Nio main brand. So that is something that I have to disagree with, and I think the sub-brand will actually be very successful, and I'm really looking forward to Nio's sub-brand flipping the table and seeing how the competitors react to Nio's sub-brand car. In terms of the stock, I think in the first half we might see a little bit more stagnation, but I think it might really pick up by summer of next year. That's when things are going to start rolling. But that is, of course, my own personal opinion, all right? Once again, wish you guys Happy New Year. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.